Good morning, my lovely people. You're welcome to my channel, Bunch with Karatsi. This is a place where I find everything to do with creativity, lifestyle, storytelling, and personal growth. I am super pumped. I'm excited. I'm seeing yellow, red, green. Damn, I love color, but I even love it better when it's in food. And every time I see this, interestingly, it reminds me of my mom. You would ask me why I am talking about food and giving you all that whole background. Well, as good as it is, too much of food is not good for you. So you need a little bit, just like the car needs fuel, but you can't just pour fuel all over the car and it will burn up. I have noticed the culture of greed today. We want to eat all the time. I love food, y'all. It's not the only food I love. I love me some fries. I love me some meat. I love fish. I love food. I'm one of those people that will sit and eat food with my hands and enjoy it. You know what that means? If you're a typical African, finger foods are not just a thing. They are real life and they are yummy. I want to help you to keep enjoying food, but also to do it in a healthy way and a way that will keep you empowered as a person. Not everything that is food should be eaten. You have to have a limit. The Bible talks about gluttony and it says gluttony is sin. Actually, too much of anything is not good, not just food, but alcohol, maybe even too much dancing, maybe too much talking. I love the words of one great man, Robin Sharma. He says, balance is a gorgeous thing because a bow tightly tied is easily broken. So that means you need to have a balance in everything. If you go too much on this side, you might want to fall off. So be balanced and no one lie to you. Food is a culture. Most food cultures are linked to certain interests, events, the community, the surrounding environment, the foods that grow in a certain area influences the food culture of people. Now, living in a town, my mother would say every farmer brings food to the town. So people in towns will have fresh beans all year round, and you wonder how, because they are getting food from different places, which is a gift. Today we can afford to eat all sorts of foods. It is interesting, and I thank God that my parents allowed me to experience the cultural food practices. They exposed me to the culture practices of my family, like even those that people have shunned today. I can tell you, I love my beans boiled in a pot. When beans are growing up and they're not yet ready to flower, or they've not yet flowered, I think they would go in and remove some leaves. And those leaves, you cut them nicely, put them on top of beans, man. They are the tastiest thing ever. You see, that's my culture. Influenced by my mom, influenced by the farming culture, what was being grown, and y'all, that's how food culture happens. You can now look at what your food culture is. What's your food culture? What do you like to eat? And then look at your environment. What we like to eat, what we like to do is influenced by our environment. If you surround yourself with people who love junk, you're gonna eat junk day in and out, and it will seem normal. However, your body is gonna demand the beautiful food. You want to teach yourself the right habits, because culture is actually built from practiced habits that people continuously do over and over again, and it becomes part of them, and then it becomes a culture. Part of my culture is I make the food the way I want it to taste. There's some spices I stay away from because I don't know what you added in there, so I want to know what I'm putting in my food, and I try as much as possible to get a great taste. You can get a great taste of your food without actually having too much spice. So what do you do to enjoy your food? What do you do to enjoy food without being greedy? How do you do that? First and foremost, you have to have an awareness that you need to have a limit in food discipline. Food discipline means that not everything that is on the plate or on the table should be consumed in that very moment. That's a good one. So make sure you learn that you don't have to eat everything that is put before you. Secondly, I love the Bible so much. The Bible says in Proverbs that when you sit before kings, put a knife on your throat. Do not be lured into their delicacies because they can mislead you. Food is that dangerous. Please be aware of your personal food culture, of your family food culture. My family culture, which I'm very proud of, includes herbal teas, cleansing foods. It includes also foods that are intended to rejuvenate the body, like to heal the body. And they would tell us to eat them. They would say, oh, you're not feeling it, eat this and do this and that. They never told us that this is a culture. It is a culture because you continuously practice it, although you're not aware that it is a culture. I would say it's like a food culture mapping. How you eat, what you eat, why you eat it. That will give you the picture. And my mother was very good at giving me that. My mother introduced me to food publications when I was young. The very first one was Odie Oveje. She was always looking to learn, and she made sure that she learned whenever information was available. So she bought that little book and she would tell us how to eat. She was so into rainbow foods, like make sure your plate is colorful. She would say those things to us and also practice them. She would actually say, when you're making a salad for me, make sure it has all this stuff. And that has stuck with me. Besides the little book, that was the time she had to learn from radio. And man, there's a lot of health information that even today I still use that came from Radio Uganda. I know for many Ugandans, Radio Uganda is like, what are you listening to? But it had a beautiful nutrition program that my mother always listened to, and it changed our lives. Again, I would say it flipped my life completely because this girl is still transitioning from being just a sweet tooth to now a healthy eater. Please note that you don't learn how to eat right in just a few days. It is a process. That's why right now is a time for you to begin to do this whole food culture mapping in your home and in your family, because it's going to be helpful. Now, besides having all this information, I have fallen off this health eating journey a number of times. Why? Because there are traumas that will hit you and throw you off, and you forget the things you're supposed to do. So it is important to intentionally continue to check certain things in your home. How is my kitchen? What kind of food am I buying? Why am I buying this food? Why am I eating this food? And also recognize, be intentional to just understand how you're feeling. I know it's really hard when you're going through a hard time to actually focus on the food you're eating, because all you care about is, can I get okay? So you may not care, but over time you might pay a difficult price for not taking good care of yourself, actually, and also not taking good care of your food, because you want to eat your food when it's alive. My mom would say, eat your food when it's alive. Food has to be alive, most importantly. So that's why you want to eat more of vegetables and fruits rather than you eating the cooked food, because you want to eat the live food, but you also want to take in your proteins. I would say have a balance. Some people are running off from meat. I still eat my meat, but I have days when I'm just eating vegetables, and then when I eat meat, I will eat my carbohydrates. I will eat this. Remember, all the food is great, just portioning and awareness of its value, when and how. The key thing I want to share with you, this is a trivia from my mother. She would keep saying, when fruits are in season, eat as much as possible. When certain fruits are in season, eat them, enjoy them. Because some things are there in certain seasons, others are not there. Now you're able to bridge certain gaps of deficiencies that our bodies experience at certain seasons or in certain seasons of life. So if you have mangoes available, enjoy them. If it's bananas, enjoy them. Of course, again, remember to balance. How do you overcome greed? Well, first, you have to recognize that you need to be aware of your food. Then create your own food culture. You might have grown up in a home where the food culture was nasty, or you're around people who have a horrible food culture. Change it. Change it. Awareness, remember, opens doors to beautiful strategy. One of the ways you can create a great food culture is by starting with where you shop. Go to a farmer's market. I love farmer's markets. I love just being in the market and seeing the fresh food, and it gives me so much joy seeing the celery stalks, all these greens. I just love spinach and kale and skuma wiki. Oh, like that is me. I love all those things. I have had to continuously evolve in how I eat and train myself. So how do you get to evolve? Evolving again, it means you expose yourself to different foods. Part of exposing yourself to different foods is opening yourself up to exploring the food, and it can be at restaurants. We have whole food restaurants here as well. You can actually go to whole food restaurants and eat their food and explore. I love eating there. You eat and have a good feel, but you don't feel like your tummy is packed with some white flour. It doesn't feel that way, which is a beautiful experience. We have restaurants that are focused on Easterner foods, Westerner foods, Northerner foods, and Southern foods. So we are privileged to have all sorts of food in this country. So explore. Finally, when you expose yourself to all different foods, you also have to expose yourself to different cooking styles. I know some people don't cook, they don't like to cook, but you can teach the person that helps you to cook. You can talk to them about different ways of making the food, and you will be able to actually enjoy it. Remember, cooking food is like art. You can taste it, you can measure that, the salt, the oil, the spices, all that affect the taste of the food, and how you apportion all those things will determine the quality of your food. So you want to share these things with the person that makes the food for you, and also buy the things that you want to taste in your food. Don't have everything there, because if you have everything there and I'm your cook, I'm going to use anything because I think you want to eat anything, right? You have to create your own style of cooking, your own style of eating. People will judge it. I'm saying this because, man, we have people in our business, in everything. They will judge it. They will say, oh, it's not right, it's this and that. Listen, if there's nothing to learn, drop it down. If there's something to learn, take it with you. Do you, because you know what works for you and why you're doing that. When you have this information, when you empower yourself in such a way, I can bet you will be able to create a beautiful food culture. You will also be able to experience a beautiful life, like be more energetic, have your mind quick and fast and flexible. You're less irritable when you're eating right. Yes, and that's very important. You're even more creative. Did you know that? So learn, try as much to discipline your body. Remember, greed is sin, not just before God, but it also sinning against yourself, because you against your purpose. It's sinning against those who love you, because you won't give them the best version of yourself. And who doesn't want to live a full life? I want to live a full life. Remember, it's all about established living on this channel. It is important to plan your meals. When you have planned what you're going to eat ahead of time, it becomes easier to actually embrace it and eat it. I have all these foods here. I have bell peppers. My hands are clean. I washed my hands. I have bell peppers. They're soaked in water, boiled water, and apple cider vinegar. This is the vinegar that I use. I have extra virgin olive oil. Again, I'm a sweet tooth, so this is exciting for me. I love bell peppers. I love tomatoes. They're very healthy. Tomatoes, whatever, and cucumbers. They hydrate your body. and they're great. I have my bowl right here. I'm going to make a plate that I will enjoy later in the day. So yeah, this is what I do. I'm removing the membrane. So the final thing to add is the avocado. This is my bowl, and I'm adding a bit of avocado. Finally, all the bowl is here, and I'm excited. I hope you are ready to go make your own bowl of vegetables, and of course some meat to go with it. Fish. Oh dang, I just love I love vegetables, by the way. It's like when I go to a restaurant and I'm ordering, like, can you give me like some good vegetables? I don't give me those little things, give me vegetables. I love to eat vegetables. It's a culture that you can teach yourself. My mother introduced me to it. I can't actually believe that I like the things I didn't like as a kid. I enjoy them so much. So if my mother was here, she'd be like, yeah, girl, I know I did right. Anyways, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. You can go ahead and share it. See you soon. Bye bye.